My name is Michael, and my pronouns are he, him. I really loved and enjoyed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Personally, seeing more Asian faces in a genre I enjoy made this feel really personal to me, and I want to do this in a two-part review, this being a condensed down version of my thoughts, and then once it's on Disney Plus, a more detailed version of all the specific things that I really love and had some issues with. So I wasn't really sure what to expect from this movie, because I've never had a real interest in kung fu movies. But this blew my expectations out of the water. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is rated PG-13 for sequences of violence and action and language. And in this, there will be some spoilers, so fair warning. The plot. I felt like there were 4 storylines happening simultaneously. Shang-Chi, Wenwu, Xialing, and Katy's. And I thought it worked well. Shang-Chi's story follows him coming to terms with who his family is, and I guess what family and strength means to him.
You are a product of all who came before you.
Wenwu's story follows the love he has for his family and his children, and how he chose to handle his grief with a splash of, can people really change? Xialing's story reminds me a little bit of a Mulan story, with her father's views on how females should act and being her true self, being both sensitive and a badass. Katy's story feels very minor, and that she's the audience insert. She develops from being someone who doesn't seem to have a clear goal in life to someone who's developing a target to aim for.
Hell yeah.
The martial arts and cinematography. Like I mentioned earlier, I've never had an interest in kung fu or martial arts movies, but there were a lot of scenes where the fighting and cinematography felt like a ballet. The smooth motion of combat and the mix of slow motion and the angles were spectacular. There was a fight at the beginning and one towards the end that parallel each other with shared shots and actions. Shang-Chi also has character development through his martial arts. It seems his father trained him more using strength, demonstrated by Shang-Chi's stances using fists or tense hands. However, towards the end of the movie, he starts to use an open palm stance, and it feels like he moved from force to flow. Issues. There are a few issues I have with the story, but overall I really enjoyed it. These are just a couple of the issues that I wanted to discuss at this point. The pre-plot inciting incident seems to revolve around the mother's death, which feels problematic because it's killing the wife and mother to propel the father and inadvertently the son into action. Even though her action scenes are fantastic, she's pretty much fridged before the main story even starts. One thing that I did appreciate was this post my friend sent me from CAPE, Coalition of Asian Pacifics in Entertainment, where Meng'er Zhang's character, Xialing, originally had a red streak. After reading it was a trope for the tough/rebellious Asian woman, she called director Destin Daniel and requested it to be removed, and he and the production were 100% behind it. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with Asian women choosing to have a colored streak. It's just when it's constantly shown in media as a way to identify a badass Asian woman visually, that's the problem. Interesting bits. Shang-Chi has a line about how as a kid, a bully called him Gangnam Style when he's Chinese and not Korean. I hope this is a nod to his role on Kim's Convenience, where Simu played Jung, a Korean Canadian.
You know, you've not changed a bit. I'm just trying to give the people what they want.
Hey, Jung, you lose another shirt?
What happened to your shirt?
There were at least 3 references to
Burn it down.
I get that it's just a phrase, but it shows a parallel to the Loki series.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
In the mid-credits scene, a character says to Shang-Chi and Katy, "Welcome to the circus." It's something I've brought up in a few other videos, but circuses and clowns have been brought up in WandaVision and Loki, the 2 shows focused around magic.
We got the full clown car.
And the military tents into striped circus ones. 2 fleeing soldiers turn into clowns.
The timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection.
And with the 10 rings being magic, there is a little bit of a tie-in. There were also hexagonal soundproofing in the karaoke rooms. Overall, I'd give it 8 rings out of 10. I look forward to doing a more in-depth review and thoughts once it comes out on Disney Plus and can go over specific details. I'll see you in the next video.